So welcome back. Welcome to this Wednesday Word of Wisdom. Now, last time we talked a little bit into having some gratitude in our lives and the start of the 3 steps to really living that fulfilled, purposeful, really passionate life that most of us want to see ourselves living into. And you know what? Rather than waiting for the next thing or for ourselves to achieve that big goal or for whatever it is that we want to see in our lives for ourselves to actually be happy, we can choose to start to do some very strategic things in our life that is going to create that satisfaction, that's going to create that happiness, that's going to create that life that we are excited every single day to get up and to live into because of the strategies that we put into place. Now, before I jump to step 2, subscribe, make sure that you hit the bell so that you'll get notified as these videos are coming out. I just want to make sure that I can add value to you and that you are going to get all of this all in one place. So I post them to my social media, so go ahead and like me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram. I'm also on Twitter, and if you prefer to read or just listen, you can find these on my blog and on my podcast. All the links are right here for you. So all of that is right here available for you. All right, let's jump right into step 2. Now, let's dive right into step 2, which is looking forward towards the goal. You see, we need to have long-range goals, we need to have shorter-term goals, and we really need to set ourselves up for success. We are all running a race called life, and a runner who looks backward is going to be losing the race. So we need to be looking forward towards the goal. And sometimes the race can feel pretty darn tough. And we need to be setting ourselves little waypoints along the way where there's something right in front of us that is going to give us this sense of reward as we're running that race. It's like I can look ahead and I can see the next tree and I go, okay, I can run that far. I can do that. Without necessarily always keeping our eye on the big prize at the end or the big goal at the end. I did say it in the last video that the finish line often keeps moving, and that's because as we start to run that race, we learn more. As we go down that path, the further we go, the more we can see, the further we can see, and the further out that goal line winds up being. We can't allow our past failures or our accomplishments to interfere with our present efforts in that running of the race. There are 3 questions I want you to think into. Am I focusing my efforts towards the prize that awaits at the end? Or am I too content watching other people run their race? Am I training regularly and working out my daily disciplines? And am I properly fueling my body with sleep, nutrition, exercise for maximum results in my life? As we do that, it starts to open us up to some other questions around who am I? Where did I come from? Why am I even here? Where am I going? I want to warn you against resting on your past achievements or even on your present comfort, because I want you to be purposefully looking ahead, to wholeheartedly be reaching forward, to continue to press on in the race to your very last breath. See, for growth to occur, there's got to be tension in our lives. That's actually really healthy. We need to have healthy, productive tension that comes from making change, from growing and developing. But it can also come from the goals that we set that push us to reach and press forward in our growth, and from our decision to be the best we can be. So to set the goals that actually demand that growth is very vital in the progress, the satisfaction, the happiness level that we have in our life. And be aware of getting too comfortable. Too much comfort invites us to start to watch the race rather than to energetically participate in it. And that requires focus. There is a very necessary focus that is essential to running a race, because if a runner fails to focus, that runner will fail. But focus does not always come easy. It may sound easy, but it doesn't come easy. In order to do all of this, we have to create a mindset that is actively forgetting the past, learning from it, but really letting go of whatever would keep us from growing in our walk. Now, it was H.D.M. Spence and Joseph Excel that said, "We must look forward, not backward. Some men stand with their faces to the west, regretting the lost radiance of the setting sun. Others turn their gaze on the east, eager to catch the first streak of dawn. Surely the latter are the wiser. Our faces look forward that we may see the path we are about to tread." And so to create that life of fulfillment, of passion, of purpose, of feeling like we are accomplished at the end of the day, we must look to the dawning of each fresh new day and invest our energy on progress rather than focusing on the faded events of the past. We must reach forward by forgetting the past, concentrating on the present and the now. Pressing on toward the goal is a race we will run for the rest of our lives. And I want you to really take some time to think about, what are your lifetime goals? What are those big goals that you're setting for yourself down the road, 5 years, 10 years after retirement? And then choose the 3 goals that are the most important to you, and then rank them in order from most important to least important. We also need to think about the goals that we're setting ourselves up for this year. And, breaking large projects into daily bite-sized pieces, that's an exercise that keeps us from feeling overwhelmed by our goals and our work, because it keeps that next waypoint right in front of our eyes. And it also fixes our focus on today. Long-range planning is actually really important, right? It's important. It's a key to planning birthday parties, anniversary celebrations, weddings, reunions, parties, vacations, trips that we're going to be going on, even things like redecorating or adding on to our house or building a new one. Retirement planning. And we kind of create this pinnacle place where we want our lives to be, kind of designing the ideal life that we're looking for, and all of the little steps that are going to take us to get there. So even when we think of short-term planning, short-term planning is still in the future, and it's still a future goals focus. Feeling good about the future is important for our happiness. We all need goals to motivate us, and they need to be challenging enough to actually create some excitement within us. The thing about the goals, though, is they do have to be somewhat achievable. If we try to do something that's literally impossible, it is going to cause a huge amount of stress in our lives. So we do need to, pick those big, hairy, audacious goals, but also be kind of realistic about it, so that our life's direction can actually move us towards those big goals. It also gives us this sense of satisfaction and accomplishment when we start to achieve some of those little waypoint goals along the way. Goals are the way we can turn our values and our dreams into actual reality. Because you know what? Happiness doesn't just happen. Happiness comes from the actions that we take each and every day. It comes from our ability to prep, to plan, to pursue things that are really important to us. One of the things that I've noticed in my own life is that goals help us to really focus our attention. And when we start to actively work towards achieving them, actively working towards our goals is just as important for our mental health, our well-being, our sense of accomplishment, joy, drive, motivation, as achieving the actual end result that we're aiming for. Which is kind of the funny part. Actually achieving the end result is not that important. And that's what I talk about when I say that finish line always moves. Sometimes actually our life takes a completely different path as we walk down that journey, we start to run that race, because all of a sudden we know more, we can see further. Maya Angelou said, "I did then what I knew how to do. Now that I know better, I do better." Setting goals creates this future focus for us, a forward-looking focus and some momentum in our life, which creates optimism. And optimistic people, they tend to be happier, healthier, they cope better during difficult times. So those goals create focus and forward momentum, which propels us into the next phases of our lives. Step 3 is living into the now. So stay tuned. Like I said, subscribe, hit that bell so you get notified as soon as that next video is ready and it comes out for you. But before you go, if you want more information about how to effectively set goals, to set goals that you'll actually achieve, to find yourself being much more successful with that goal setting. Like if you've ever set a goal and not achieved it, or if you've attempted but never really come to the end of that process, I have a program called High Achiever, and it is about how to set goals that you will actually achieve. How to become a goal achiever rather than just a goal setter. Leonardo da Vinci said, "It had long since come to my attention that people of accomplishment rarely sat back and let things happen to them. They went out and happened to things." I love that quote. If you sometimes feel stuck, if you sometimes feel unable to take action, if you want to do more, to have more, to be more, if you feel like you're just going through the motions rather than achieving all you could, that this program is for you. Because you know what? I've been there. And that's where this whole idea came from. I've been a goal setter. I've also been a goal achiever. And so I want to show you the difference. I've created this program to challenge you, to give you strategies to actually set goals and achieve them, to increase your productivity, to break you out of those mundane day-to-day rituals that have kept you stuck, the mindsets that are creating blocks and are holding you back to actually achieving what you want to see in your life. To get what you want out of life, you cannot sit around wishing for it to happen and wishing that somebody else would do it for you. Goal setting is everywhere in our world. We set goals for our career, we set goals for our health, we set goals for just our life in general. So why not do it in a way that is going to give you results? Go to extremeexcellence.ca to find out more about this program. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment or to private message me and ask. I am more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. Thanks for joining me today. Bye for now.